Hello everyone, welcome back, and welcome if you're a new watcher, um, and please do subscribe. So that's if you're watching this live or you just happen to be watching this. Obviously if you're seeing this now, you'll be seeing it later on. So basically it's just a slideshow of my previous jobs, previous work. So it's just flicking through all pictures I've done previously. So obviously if you're catching up on this, guys, I'm gonna always try and do a live stream a week, preferably the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and hopefully you can get logged on when I'm live. But if not, don't be afraid to watch and see what we were talking about, and leave your own sort of messages and comments, what you think I should do next, what videos you want to learn, plastering ways or screeding or anything such as. Hello mate, hello Carl Jones. Carl Jones is with me now. Good stuff. So Carl just sort of a wee live stream on work I done years ago. Just thought I'd upload it. Some of these pictures are actually on my videos from probably about 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah, I'm good, buddy. Bar my stuffy nose. Got a bit of a cold. You can probably hear it in my voice. But actually very warm today. Probably the warmest day of the year we've had so far. It's been pretty bad as to date. Yeah, Carl, he's asking how to plaster a wall. But yeah, I have a few videos on it already. How to plaster a wall, skim coat, and a couple how to render and stuff. What way are you talking? Like skimming or sand and cement work? Inside or outside? There's loads to be done plastering, like there's. It's lagging out. Not sure why it's lagging, but not sure why it's lagging. It seems to lag on me a wee bit now. No, it's just a slideshow of pictures. Yeah, but Carl, yeah, no, there's probably at least 5 demos on how to skim a wall and a couple on me rendering walls and stuff. Pictures. Hello KTMX, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, Carl Jones, if you get a chance, sort of after the video or whatever, KTMX does loads and loads of games. I haven't actually played the PlayStation in a while, so I haven't had much time. I've actually only had 3 days off. Tomorrow will be my 4th day off since Christmas, so I've been pretty busy from December. But yeah, KTMX there is getting a bit of a shout out here, but he has a really good gaming channel, and I think he does play with people as well. So he does sort of live stream with them and stuff. But yeah, he's got a good channel for games. But I'm not sure I would be very good to play with on the PlayStation. It might not be as good as the rest of you, so you might get a wee bit frustrated and kick me out of the game, you know. I'm not sure why it does lag, Carl, when it's live. I'm not sure why. Maybe just my PC is not good enough. KTMX would know probably a bit more about that than me as well. Or maybe because I'm talking as well, it might take more power for the live stream. Yeah, I played Fortnite KTM. It's pretty good. It's 4 o'clock here almost. Yeah, the live stream seems to go. Yeah, you too, Carl. Just seems to go from green to red. Not really sure why it does that, but it does. Yeah, Carl. Catch you later, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate the comments, mate. And if you get a chance, try and get on and hard to plaster a wall. It's probably one of my biggest videos. But yeah, I'll maybe drop the link in the description.
To show you how we created our amazing new website.
Wow. Yeah, guys, I'll just probably chat about some of the jobs in the background here as well. The stream's going to last probably about an hour. And these videos here in the background, these clips right now, is things I wanted to talk about. Again, they are the channel icon at the minute, and I was thinking of changing them. That it's a cornice when I patched up. I painted very, very well. Somebody was asking me before to upload more of my plastering that has been painted. So I think they were sort of wanting to see if it was as good as it looks when it was just freshly plastered. But yeah, I have a good lot of pictures where it is painted, and now I actually have a few videos of where my plaster work's painted as well, and I'll show them off in the future too. I've also possibly, if anybody's sort of still watching at this time, a couple of tools coming out, new stuff, different stuff than what I have on the channel, and they will be getting, hopefully doing an unboxing, and we'll be doing a couple of how-to videos with these tools. I think they're gonna be pretty good. Bit of a game changer if some plasters haven't actually invested in them. Definitely maybe game changer for certain jobs. Guys, in the background there, that window's just to be patched to. But this specific job, you can see there's red brick, there's black, and there's stone. The house kind of built with all different sort of materials. But there's a lot of people saying you shouldn't sand cement over brick. But this job, this specialist job, was done so long ago, and there has not been a problem with it. So I think it all depends on how you go about your mix. I do agree with a lot of things they say, but you can actually see there's chemicals in the background there. But just because they have a way that may be right doesn't mean that things I do are wrong. And I especially do everything I avoid to try and do anything wrong. I always try and do things by the book, and all my work I want to basically outlast me. So if there's anybody ever sort of wanting to give me a job or plastering work, that's what I aim for. I aim for my work to last for 100, 200 years. That's what I want. That's what I'm trying to get out of it. So, not like things people buy nowadays, like cars. You can't buy a car and expect it to last you for 20 years because it just won't. You can't buy a washing machine or a tumble dryer that would even last you more than 3, 4 years, let alone, you know, like I know they go through some abuse, but houses go through abuse too. They are lived in, so they have to be looked at every day. So that's why I always try and do plastering. I have it to such a level where I would have it as good in my own house. I wouldn't leave somebody with something I wouldn't have in my own house, and I can be quite fussy when it comes to the plastering work. can see it's all getting leveled out now in the background. Do have a video on that, a specific rejob, and again this was all just to be patched, so it's all sort of small areas around the house. Pretty awkward rejob. Obviously with scudding, scratching, there's a lot of materials used on stone. You have to build it way out. You can see we just flushed in around the edge of that wee window. Don't think the builder wanted the problems of chipping it all off right around that. Plus it was solid and it was dry. There was no issues. So this here will be some of the tiling work you're about to see. Around a brand new kitchen, so definitely try to keep it covered up as best as possible. There's a ceiling skimmed around a brand new kitchen as well. Some of these pictures, when I look at them, I can't actually even remember where they were. So long ago. Here's the tiling part coming up. I don't do a huge amount of tiling. I will say I'm much faster at plastering, so you tend to stick what you're good at, what you're fast at, if you're trying to make money, of course. But for friends and family, I'll always do bits and pieces of tiling if they're stuck, especially if they're stuck. Or possibly customers have done a lot of work for. If they're stuck, I'd go out of my way and help them out a wee bit. So obviously this job gets cleaned up better. You still see wee bits of grout. There's a lot of pictures actually that would be on this slideshow, and they're a wee bit dirty looking, like the likes of that there. But they obviously get cleaned up. Whether or not I always show that in my videos, but like you can see it's clean there in this stage. But I always clean up after me. I think all good tradesmen should clean up after themselves. In this scene, I'm not sure if you can see that texture in that scene, but it's a light stipple on that job. Very fine wee stipple, and the people wanted it more modern, so they wanted it flat. Everybody's going for flat now, where stipple was sort of in the 60s. It's a bit old fashioned. It's another tiling job done for that same stipple job. Like I say, these customers sort of got a few wee bits and pieces off them and they recommended me to people. So I did do tiling for them when they were stuck. You can sort of see this, the whole room's completed, finished, and that's the tiling I did round the tub and stuff. So it came out pretty well, in my opinion anyway. And the shower cubicle. Hey, what's up, Danny, mate? Yeah, just doing I'm not sure if you've been here the whole time, but yeah, just I found all these pictures on the camera and thought I have to upload them and have a look myself. But that scene there was a stippled, so it was a bond skim. But yeah, Danny's saying that I should do more rendering faces. Yes, mate, definitely should. I think you're right. I do have a few bits and pieces of rendering, but I don't think I've actually ever uploaded one of me rubbing up and sponging it. I think it's always been sort of just befores and afters that way. But yeah, I'll definitely try and get a few small walls where I have a bit of time. My main problem when I'm making videos is I tend to just start it into the job, and at that stage it's too late to sort of take clips and sort of think of the areas where I could talk about. But you can see there's some small jobs in this that are real foodry. I think this was an office for a builder I was doing, definitely a long time ago. I think it was all just to be patched like that. I think that was the front desk. That's why it looks a funny shape. There's a desk below it. So, was that picture an outside corner or an inside corner? Definitely think some of my photography is poor, and the fact that I'm catching all the wee dust particles now and again as well. You can see, is that an outside corner or inside corner? Sort of like an optical illusion. The wee bits, if you stare at them long enough, it starts to look like it's coming out and going in. A wee bit of K-rend in the background here too. Yes, mate. D.i.y Plaster's asked me basically what have we got on. Yeah, man, I've actually only had. So tomorrow will be my third or fourth day off from Christmas. I haven't stopped. Doing 7 days a week on this contract. It's probably, for me, it's coming to an end. There's other plasters there that have been there for 8 years on this type of job, and they will probably be there for another maybe a month, and then that job will be over. But for me, it probably time's limited now. I would say maybe a week, maybe even go during next week and it'll be off. But on the other hand, once this contract runs out, we have a lot of work lined up. Where I got 2 houses on, and one of them, well, nothing's ever set in stone until you land at the job. But one of the houses, if we get it, would take over 4 weeks to complete, and it's all inside work, so it tells you how big that house is. There's a tiny wee bit of carrying to do, but it gives you an idea the size of the work, and that'll be me and another plaster doing, both doing it as a team. But again, it's not set in stone. But as well as that, there too, there's a reskim of a house to do, and I would like to say it would take a week, but it'll probably take longer as the people are living in the house, so you can't just run room to room. They will be living in the house, which means you have to do a room, clean it up, and move the furniture or whatever, that way. But yes, man, I'm definitely going to try and get more demos uploaded, especially rendering it. Even the skimming ones, I'm going to try and make them better. I thought that the hard to plaster wall videos I did were decent, but I want to actually make them better. Maybe a wee bit shorter. I think the shorter the demo videos are, the easier are for people to watch, and watch them right to the end so they get all the details. But rendering, yeah, definitely gonna have to get some rendering ones up. A couple other wee jobs up where but they're all pebble dashing. I'm not sure if you're on the ball with pebble dashing yet or not. But I suppose that anything I can show you, even I myself, like, I'm not the best plasterer or don't know everything there is to do with plastering. We can all learn, and we can all learn off each other. Tend to find you learn best off your mistakes. But every job, you definitely do learn a little bit of something new, how you can go about things. So I'm sure pebble dashing, these jobs will be patching. There's 3 of them in particular. One's above a door. You'll actually laugh your head off when I show you this. For whatever reason, they double floated it as if it was going to be skimmed or slap dashed, wet dash, or the wee TILING gun flicked on. But I don't know why they would have done that. But even whatever they've done, it's come both off the concrete head as well, so it's no good. Also the reveals that touched up, they didn't cover the PVC, which is also no good. So there'll be a wee couple of tips in that there. And again, it's going to be a pebble dash patch job. Then there's going to be another one with the door and utility room job I was doing. It'll be done. And then there's another one where I have to actually block up a window and pebble dash it through as well. But they're all jobs I know I have, and of course I'm sure I'm going to come across sand cement jobs as well, especially inside of this house. But again, that's not finishing render. It's just sort of, well, all rendering finishes. So I suppose it's going to have you covered on that way. Yeah, mate. No, I'm sure you're definitely good at plastering and rendering yourself. But like I said, there's RFW. He does the sponges and stuff. So some people do even skimming jobs different. Yeah, definitely have tried to aim the plastering videos mostly at sort of DIYers and people coming into the trade, trying to help them, give them a wee bit of a boost, sort of get their confidence up. Because I don't know what it's like in England, but here, well, probably is the same in England, but most people do want to keep everything to themselves, all their tips and tricks to themselves. But the longer they keep it to themselves, the less chance anybody will ever know what they have known. They'll not be able to teach it to anybody. But yeah, sort of if I can get some videos up with K-Rend and stuff a bit more. Have actually quite a lot of K-Rend videos on. If I can get a few more on it. I can get a few more on K-Rend, scratching it out. Maybe one from start to finish and a few pebble dashing. But like you said, videos for pros. Most of the you get a lot of pros come on here and sort of just want to write you off and say that it's all wrong and it's not right. But like I said earlier, just because somebody's doing something different doesn't mean it's not right either. There definitely is a wrong way of doing things, but there can be more than one way of doing things right, as well as more than one way of doing it wrong. But obviously, yourself, plasters will always argue of PVA, which PVA, when the plaster over PVA, that way, and when the even trowel up, stuff like that there. Yeah, you're just sort of talking about the sponge float there. Yeah, I find the sponge float's great. See if you're doing a ceiling and you've bonded it and you've skimmed it. Now, obviously, I get my timing right where it doesn't really blister, but I don't know if you ever find where you're seeing blisters from the bonding and it's still blisters and they're hard to get out, and they don't really maybe come out until the very last hit, and you maybe have to brush them a good few times. But obviously, people I used to work for used to use sponge floats, but that's when to me sponge floats come into play. Is really good as the bubbles on the ceilings or anywhere you've done bolting. If you hit it a whack with a sponge float and then you clean out your sponge float, and then if the wall's starting to pick up a wee bit, you hit it and you'll find that all the blisters are gone. A friend of mine, Ran, he's a good wee skimmer as well, and he doesn't mind using sponges. He thinks it helps you level out the wall a bit and stuff, which I'll agree to. In fact, that if you sponge float, your reveals can help straighten them out. But then that's the same as just using a normal float. You can use a float to actually float your skin and straighten it out that way. Yeah, I'll probably give away a video idea there, DMA, with that sponge float. So there's my van in the background, the old red one. It's a pretty good van. But yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. If you have a sponge float, that would be worth a wee try. If you see them blisters appearing, hit them a wee crack with a sponge float. You could even maybe do a wee area and test it out. But my problem with sponge floats is if you're doing a large area and you have to hit it like a massive ceiling, you probably not want the sponge float. But if you do sponge float and then you have to wash out your sponge. You can wash it in a bucket, obviously, but the best way to wash it is give it a good rinse in a tub or under a hose. So that's my problem with the sponge floats, that do take time to wash, and if you don't wash them, skim and bot and start setting into it, it's for the bin basically, because well, it's like a wee rubbery thing, and you find that they'll all start ripping and stuff, and that's not what you really want to be dragging along your ceiling. But yeah, I might do a video on that sort of on the way I go about if it's gonna blister on me that way. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Definitely, definitely would be, if you were doing a big sort of ceiling, 4 or 5 bags, you're gonna find it hard to get a sponge float across it all and then start trialing it. Even with thistle skin, because you've only got 2 hours before it's brown, so you're definitely going to want to sort of, well, you suppose if there's 2 of you doing it, you could have somebody sponging in front and one child behind would work, but probably be 2 of you on the ceiling child at the same time, might work out better that way. Do you do any screening, DMA plastering yourself, floor screening? I try it myself. I can do screen, I can do big large areas and stuff, but I do try my best to avoid floor screening myself. Getting up and down seems to rack my back, my lower back and my hips. Definitely doing any amount of screening, even the kitchen, like a small room, I definitely feel it for a day or two. So when I'm doing the screening, I prefer to leave it to Friday, so we're gonna have Saturday and Sunday to recover and come back Monday strong again. That way. I'm just glad this big job in the background didn't have any screed for us to do. They had they just concrete power floated it, so they did. This job actually had a big clock in the middle, and it had like a band going round in a circle. You can just about see it in the background, but I lost a lot of pictures of that up close. It looked real well. Looking through this too, it shows you how your memory actually is false. Like your memory, when you think you remember something, it just shows you that you don't really. These pictures, I remember doing this job, as it's a big enough job, and I do not remember doing the keystones, but there's keystones on the windows, the front. So when I was looking back at it, it was like keystones, it sort of baffled me. But obviously they were done. But when I seen them, I was like, I just did not remember doing the keystones. But you can see how long a wall that is. And again, this is all wet dash in the background. Drying out in areas there, as it was pretty warm when we hit it. And you can see it's pretty well uniformed, mix and applied. I think that's very important when you're dicing to get your mix right, your timing right, and when you're timing it in the way you're coating as well. So there's no sort of big obvious stop starts, whatever sort of, even at the bars you have to be careful what way the bars are. You can joint very easily along a scaffold bar and stuff. I think a lot of that scaffold we had to adjust just to get our own proper heights and working platforms. but that gives you that picture gives you a scale of the size of that building. It's not that it's the biggest building in the world, but it's by no means small, you know. Yeah, floor screen definitely. If the price is right, do it. Or you know, maybe if you're already on the job and there's only a small bit to screed, but definitely I think it's the stretching. You're always stretching your back, and you're pulling the sand cement up and down across the floor, so it will actually start to tire you and stuff. Here in the background again, some bad pictures. I think this was in the winter, so I had poor lighting. Definitely poor lighting. But for the next floor screen, yeah, I might do a few more wee demos on it myself. Um, I did have one on utility room screeded that floor, and I have no idea where it is. I know I recorded it. Well, I think I recorded it, but I can't find it. So there's a good few sort of demos on it. But like you were saying earlier, most of them would be sort of aimed at beginners. But you know, you can always pick things up as well. I've learned sometimes you may pick something up from somebody that's just starting to plaster. You might actually learn something from them at the same time. You know, what way they go about things. You know, or you might learn. You know, you should maybe bend your knees more. You know, when you watch them pick up a bucket for the first time, realize you yourself might need to learn bend your knees more and save your back. Again, this is another big job. I know I have a video of this like 2 years after it was done, which would be about 3 years now, and this was a big K-rend job. Not sure if you do much K-rend yourself, buddy, but let me know in the comments anyway. But or if you're interested, maybe K-rend or whatever. But yeah, let me know. Not sure if you're hearing me live as I'm talking, or it's like a wee bit of a lapse. But K-rend again, it's horrible stuff to work with, horrible stuff to apply, horrible stuff to scratch off. No matter what dust mask you use, you'll be breathing this stuff in, guaranteed. Yeah, well, actually, just as you've put in coin stones and stuff, big job in the background here. Did big arch wall. Doesn't look big, but again, it's stone. But it's actually all been pulled down that arch now. By this stage, it's been ripped away. The person there was like a bank and a business beside it, and the business bought it over and they pulled the whole thing gone for a better driveway for the building yard next to it. But yeah, there's. I suppose I want to do like you said, some more sort of things I want to do, and it's arches. There's a big arch there we've done. So I want to sort of maybe try and do a few more arches, sand, cement, and also skim, and talk about how I do them, because people all have different techniques and stuff. I think the way I learned to do them off my old boss is the easiest, quickest way. But again, you sort of need to have it formed. But yeah, DMA is asking about coin stones and stuff. But yeah, definitely. Probably won't do coin stones for a while because it takes that type of house, that country house, and people to want them to take so much time. Don't think people want to actually pay for them. And again, weather on them things is a big thing. Brick Effect Render. I'm possibly going to do a wee small job of it coming up again. I have some on bands. I think you've already watched the coin stones and the bands one. You've probably watched all them with 2 brick effect render jobs on the channel as well. But I think you've probably watched them 4 videos that I've just described. But bands, yeah, I'll try and get. I'm bound to be doing bands again. I don't think I've done my last band for sure, and I'll definitely try and get some more of them up and demos on how I do them and stuff. But again, when you're doing them types of jobs, you're concentrating that much on them that sometimes you forget to sort of talk or do anything that way. The plastering gods. I've seen that one on like if somebody's phone had something. Somebody was like, their ceiling was all falling off, and they were like, not on a Sunday or something. And said, good luck from the plastering gods. But yeah. But coin stones, yeah, coin stones are all about, again, preparation, reading your weather and measuring. They're all about measurements that way. But the coin stone job that I have up, I had measurements to go off, which was funny because they were all slightly different. But you would get varied coin stones anyway. You're not going to get them all right down to the precise millimeters. They're definitely difficult, and obviously your hand moves, the level might slip a wee bit, so things like that on coins definitely could come up a bit trickier. Surprise you how much better a job looks with fresh plaster on it, fresh dash on it. To me anyway. But most times I come to look at an old job that's fallen apart, I can already visualize the finished product in my head when I'm looking at it. And I see so much things go through my head, like do this, do that, do this, do that. It'll look like this. Like it all just happens in my head, like a time lapse, very quickly. When I'm looking at jobs, it's very strange that way. I think it's the way I go about things, just. But yeah, a couple of sort of wee artsy videos I'm gonna do when I get a bit of time off. Just really messing about. Just gonna try and create a few wee things and stuff. But I'll do a couple of wee videos on them, but I'll probably not talk to them or anything. I'll just let them play. But I think they'll be interesting to watch. Sort of give you a different aspect of plaster and plastering as well. It's things I'm picking up now on this contract that are obviously different. There's another job with bands and stuff, so I definitely don't think I've done my last band. And this job in the background, mate, is actually from Derby. So it is. It's a house. We skimmed them houses out in 3 days by myself. With a labourer. Not easy. But they weren't big. 1 bedroom, sort of a kitchen, did it had to be living room. 1, 2, 3, a bathroom and a hallway. So it wasn't big lot of work, but definitely a good wee job. So it was. Let's see, trying to get as much angles in there as possible. You can see how clean the window is. Obviously this job's been cleaned before I took my pictures, window wise anyway. Then floors were all, I think they were all tiled right through that way, so don't be thinking of a messed up nice wooden floor. And straightened out rightly there too with the windows up. I think I did 8 or 9 of them houses. It was just 6-day weeks we were doing them from Monday, and then we were finishing one on on Wednesday, and then start another one Thursday, finishing on Saturday. Always found by the Saturday I had a wee bit less to do, just that wee bit less to do. I always pushed myself hard on Thursday and Friday, so that my Saturday was a wee bit easier, and getting a bit of a rest. Yeah, mate. I can agree with that big time. I've seen lots of DMA basically saying the plastering makes everybody's jobs look better, and that we're the elite. Well, a lot of plasterers I'm working with now at the minute are basically telling me that we're not really a trade. You know, we're a craft. We're craftsmen. So it gives you a wee bit of a thing on it. Like if you think about it, everything we do is nearly by hand. Don't get me wrong, there's lots of measuring, working out in plastering. There's loads of maths and brain work in it too. Even though when you get that used to it, you forget all that thing, but there really is a lot of thinking involved in plastering as well. But again, we're making walls flat with basically our hands, that way. And unfortunately, most times when we start a job, we cannot finish until the plaster's set, so we can't just stop and have a cup of tea or a biscuit. Otherwise, we're gonna lose it all. But yeah, like you said, there are artists. I definitely do think plastering is like an art form. And that wee spider there scared the life out of me because it had a black widow mark on its back. Terrible pictures again, but that spider, I just wanted to talk about this. It has like a wee mark on the back. It's like a black widow. I looked it up. They're actually like a relative of black widow. It's like an imitate. It's imitating the black widow that way. And here's a gable that the rain splashed on us a wee bit. You can see, just got it doused, and you can see the water coming down the corner of the gutter there as well. So it wasn't that a fun job to do. It was just a nightmare. But yeah, back to plasters being the best. I agree with you, DMA. We are the best. Plasters are the elite of all the building trade. So that's it. Said. It's been said. But definitely, definitely cover up some stuff. Just getting a text here, buddy, about we'll have that house. But again, I'll not hold my breath because if you do that, you suffocate. So I'm sure you get that yourself. You never really know you have a job until you step through into it. And then again, that comes with payments. That's why I'm enjoying the contract I'm having at the minute. That the money seems to be 100% safe. Not doing any chasing with builders and basically begging for money that you're owed. It's a bit like my friend said. Nobody ever seems to complain when a spark or a plumber says 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 for a job. They just throw the money at them. But when a plasterer wants it, people can't seem to see the work that you're putting in. But again, it's like another friend of mine saying in work at the minute, he says that you're not paying for my time, you're paying for my knowledge. So, you know, he's kind of hit the nail on the head. You know, if you get somebody in that doesn't have the knowledge how to keep the ceiling up, or the cornice up, or keep the wall up, or make your floor screed actually set solid where you won't fall through it, you definitely are paying for that person's knowledge, not just their time. Bit like a patch. People always say a patch will take an hour, but a patch will take you an hour just to get prepared, to get your tools out, get the place covered up, get it dusted down, cut back, PVA'd, scrim taped, and then by the time you mix, you know, patches. If you're doing a patch, you're there all day. Basically, you're gonna be there 3-4 hours by the time you get set up, plastered, cleaned. And what are you gonna do the next couple of hours of the day? Like, you're running out of time for to go and do another patch. So, you know, definitely plastering. It's not just as easy as cutting a bit of wood and screwing it up quickly. You know, we can put it on quickly, but you still tied to the time the plaster sets as well. That way. So if my buddies text me watching this too, he'll get a realization that he texts me during the video. He's the plasterer to be helping me out, so he will. Yeah, definitely. There's only one chance in plastering, or you're doing it all again. You'll be taking your second chance out of another bag of finish if you supply the materials. That's a hit, definitely. But yeah, when I'm ever doing patch jobs that involve that there's been a leak, I always want to make sure that the leak is one definitely fixed. Be it a roof or burst pipe or damp coming in somewhere, you definitely have to stop that leak at its source. Otherwise, you'll be doing the job twice. Some people might want to just go ahead and do it, but I always like to make sure that it's done. I prefer sort of that the customer, like I said earlier, I want my jobs to outlive me. Last 100, 200 years. I really do. So definitely, a customer, client, or builder, joiner, whoever I'm doing the job for, to know that I'm not just, you can't just be in the job for just the money. You have to want to sort of have a wee bit something else, in my opinion, anyway. Definitely. Not sure if you're seeing in the background, but the brown boards there. I remember somebody messaging me saying that I was plastering on the wrong side. On that particular job, I didn't actually board that job. It was joiners boarded that, so I didn't have control on what way they boarded it. But I'm not sure. But if you ever seen these boards, but there was boards. See that rating? I wish I had a zoomed in picture. That rating actually on some of them boards says please plaster this side. It doesn't say please plaster other side. So getting text left, right, and centre now. But yeah, some of them plaster boards actually said please plaster this side, the brown ones. I think some of them ones were it as well. And I'm sure you've came across diploft boards with a wee half round edge that they're brown as well, that don't have a white side. In an up and coming video, I actually explain the real reasons why, what side you're meant to plaster and why, that way. Yeah, DMA says plastering's a trade you love or hate. Definitely. The thing that I didn't like most about plastering was the dust. There can be quite a lot of dust. You can hear my voice at the minute. It's bunged up nose from having the cold. Again, I'm still outside mostly. Couple of wee buildings that are inside, but it's mostly outside work that I'm doing. But yeah, I was 5'5" fit when I first started plastering. Literally could have ran for a full hour, but bit like the size of this video. I could have jogged for an hour with weights strapped to me, 5'5" fit, and then did a wee bit of boxing, a wee bit of football. Well, a big bit. That's all I really did. I didn't go out drinking. I just stuck to my sports. But I found the dust really clung to my chest bad when I was so fit. It seemed to hit me more. It seemed to notice it more or something that way. So yeah, that was probably the worst thing about plastering for me. But everything else, I loved. Lofts and stuff. The more unique the job, the more I tend to want to do the job and really want to take pictures of it and stuff. That way. But Yeah, boxing's a brilliant way to stay fit, buddy. It definitely is. I've been trying to convince myself to go back for a couple of years, but I'm not sure my wrists, my elbow will be too happy at me. You know, at this stage of my life, definitely work seems to be a very important factor. I have to keep working, obviously, for my family, sort of keep bringing in income and stuff. And especially now I have a daughter, it seemed to be, like I would have, but like I was saying about chasing builders, now I'm sort of in the mode and mood that, that when I do the job, I sort of need pay it. I think it's now that I have somebody dependent on me, sort of thing, that I have a child, so I sort of feel like, you know, I need to be on the ball with them things. But yeah, if you box again, buddy, you'll definitely lose a few pounds. I know I would. um, Saying that now, I was eating pizzas quite a lot, and I just cut out the junk food, and I've lost about a stone of weight. So sort of shows you. Yeah, buddy, definitely. I've seen people working with sore backs and bad hips and all. You don't really want to be crawling about a building site like with injuries. Not sure if you watched that Brick Effect video that I did, where my hands all bandaged up. I don't know how long ago that was, and I still get pains in my bones. Um, Basically in my both sides of my hand, like the two bones connecting to my fingers, are absolutely aching at times. I think I actually broke bones in my hand when that happened. Um, it was when I was playing football. The ball hit me in the basically when I jumped in the nets because I was getting a bit tired, and the ball hit me. I went to punch the ball, but I punched it basically with an open hand, and you can tell what happened next. That was just all the bones in my hands seemed to just bounce about everywhere. And a wee bit, that job it did, I sort of promised them people that I would do it, so I felt guilty and felt I had to do it even though my hand was basically broke. I still did it. Tend to find that when I give my word, I try and stick to it. You know, it's sort of, it's a strange thing. If I tell somebody I want to do something, I usually do it like 100% that way. But yeah, I'm not sure where this video started. I think we're possibly coming to the end. Um, that way. Yeah, I think this here's where it started. Just in front of this one. Um, but yeah, buddy, definitely I'll take them next. You know yourself. Next time I'm doing bands or coins, I will 100% be taking videos of it and stuff too, and try and do some chatting that way. Try and do a bit of demo on it, and hope that the plastering community don't try and rip me apart as well. Which you know does happen. That is YouTube. Even believe it or not, I was stripping wallpaper off, and there's a lot of painter and decorators seem to be, they must be very fussy, because they're telling me how to strip wallpaper and stuff. Don't get me wrong, painter and decorators probably do know quicker and better ways, but I'm sure you know yourself how to get wallpaper off. I'm sure you've priced jobs where you've had to pull the paper off and plaster it yourself. Um, I'm pretty confident that most plasters know how to take paper off. Uh, but the funny thing was they were telling me how to do that, but yet they were telling me that the wall was painted and it wasn't. You know, so it's a bit funny. YouTube can definitely be funny. You get experts in everything, but also experts in nothing. I definitely think after 15, 16 years of plastering, I could definitely tell you how to get wallpaper off. But oh well. And I can't read that one out now. But no, I agree with you, buddy. No, it's been doing YouTube too long to let that affect me, definitely. And like I said, I've that much experience in plastering. And I picked it up. The guy who was teaching me, I wasn't one of the ones that went in and was labouring for 5 years before I ever got a trowel. I was doing both. I was carrying buckets in, and then I was putting the buckets on the wall. And especially when if the labourer didn't come in, you know, at times you were thinking this is an easier day, just carrying buckets and ceilings and stuff, pull the arms out of you above your head and stuff. You're thinking this is a much easier day, this is a nice day carrying buckets. But then when you had that board loaded up, you were told, right, get onto the stairs and throw that on too. And you're thinking, you know, you were thinking, I'm the apprentice, but he was a labourer, yet at that time, because I was younger, obviously labourers getting paid more than apprentice, but it's not really fair, but obviously that's the way the world works. And you have to sort of pay your dues. You know, I appreciate that too, that I didn't know how to plaster and I was learning something, so I sort of appreciated the fact that I wasn't going to get paid of what somebody that knows the job is. Depending on, obviously, I was earning it. Looking back on that, I did earn it, but you still need knowledge of the job. But yeah, but a wee video coming up, uploaded tomorrow as well. If you just want to catch that there, and that video will be uploaded Sunday. We'll maybe try and get another wee live stream going. A bit smaller. Been sitting here talking over an hour. People coming in and out. But yeah, I think that'll do for today, guys. Anyway, anybody watched this long, d.i.y Plastering's a legend. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the very next video.